The Atomic Real Estate Show, bringing you the real estate of real estate. Brought to you by Danny Bennett Productions in partnership with Direct Subs.
This episode is brought to you by the Adams Group. The Adams Group is a longtime Philadelphia real estate team that helps buyers find the right home, investors find hidden opportunities, and the sellers maximize their price with their years of insight in Philadelphia and the surrounding suburbs. They've built their reputation on honest and client-forward work. You can connect with Keith Adams via phone at 215-605-1027. He's on Instagram at the Adams Group Market, and his website is adamsgroupcompass.com. Ryan Dolan here with Nick Cessna, and we got the man behind the camera out here, Danny Bennett from Danny Bennett Productions. We got him in the hot seat, and we're going to ask him. This is the guy that makes all the magic happen on the Atomic Real Estate Show. So we're going to ask him a few questions, grill him. Full disclosure, he's never been on camera before, so we are.
I never talked on camera. Okay. I like being on camera, just I don't like talking into a mic on camera.
Well, dude, we appreciate you coming on, and realistically, we wanted to have people see who put the production together. This show goes nowhere without you. Obviously, we know little or next to nothing when it comes to this stuff. Yeah. I know you've taught Nick.
We're cavemen.
Yeah, but he's taught you a ton. I've learned quite a bit, and we love having you back here. So thank you for, one, taking the show to where it's at now, and we're looking forward to keeping it moving.
He just broke it on me this morning that now I have to start editing videos and stuff. He's going to teach me something. Just maybe download something on the iPad for the show. And so, no, it's cool. But, when I mentioned it, Danny, I'm like, listen, this is going to be episode 10 that Danny's on. And I said, it's about time. We talk about this good-looking kid that's behind the camera all the time, and we reference him because he's always sitting here. And I said, you got to get in front of the camera. And right away, probably because he didn't want to argue with me, but right away he was like, yeah, I'll do it. But then, he's a little nervous to be in front of the camera speaking, but we want to know, and we want the people to know, how much we want you to know, first off, how much we appreciate everything you do for us. And we saw in you the hustle and the stuff that you're doing in business, and we're like, we have to bring this guy on. And you were really the missing link when we met for the show, and we met with CJ, and me and Dolan were like, we talked about it, and we brought you up, and right away we're like, both of us, we looked at each other like, I'm not doing it if Danny doesn't do it with us. And you don't even know at this point. You don't even fucking know at this point. We're like, we're not fucking doing this unless Danny does it with us.
We weren't going to do it, things the old way. They may have worked, may have not, but we had a vision for the show. And the vision doesn't become a reality until we introduce an actual talent to the show. So we get Danny. So tell us a little bit about your business, because as we've done multiple episodes at this point, I still don't know a ton about business. Like, I met you through Roxborough Manayunk, and I know that you did a lot of stuff for real estate agents and weddings and things like that. But tell us more about how the business started and what it is you specialize in.
So I've always been making videos for fun since I was like in 4th grade. Literally, like, my dad would get me like a little Kodak, not videos, it started with photos. My dad got me a little Kodak camera, I was taking pictures. I ended up taking his wedding photos when he got married without me knowing in Jamaica. But it went into skateboarding. I skateboarded, got hurt, so I started filming my skateboarding friends. And then it went into like the GoPro stuff, the POV cameras came out. And my ex-girlfriend's aunt had hit me up and was like, hey, do you think you can film one of my relatives' weddings? So I was in Hawaii. It was actually right before Hawaii. In 2017, my mom's like, you should do this for a living. So I shot this wedding, and it domino affected. I didn't know what I was doing. I was walking around with a drone, using the drone camera as my gimbal, and which is like to eliminate footsteps. I had no idea what I was doing, but the wedding video came out cool. And then it domino affected. I started getting people hitting me up like, yo, we like that video. We want you to do ours. And as I was doing more, I was buying better equipment. I was teaching myself. I went to school for media/business. I was going to do criminal justice too, but I'm so glad I didn't. And one of my final projects for one of my business classes in college was create a business plan. I created my business plan, which was like a binder full of paperwork, like expenses, what I'm going to have to put into this. And I took this business plan and I literally made it the business. I took a year off of school to do it. And I don't think I would go back unless I really needed to, if everything backfired on me.
What college did you go to?
I went to Mako.
Okay.
I applied to like 18 schools out of high school, and I got into like 12, and I was like, fuck that, I'm going to Mako. I'm going to save me 60 grand a year.
And I just learned this morning that he's a Roman guy. I didn't even realize that all three of us are Roman guys. I mean, obviously we know that we are. You knew.
Well,
that
we're
aging.
you're aging us now a little bit, not knowing that he was at Roman. But
I graduated in 2013, so.
Well, at least we graduated in the same century. I mean, that works, right? So, but no, man. Like I said, and the criminal justice thing's funny, right? Because full disclosure, when I went to college, I thought I was going to be a criminal justice major. Switched it to business real quick. Life takes you in crazy directions. I mean, obviously you have an immense talent for this stuff. You speak a different language when it really comes to the technical side of things, and it helped make my job outside of the mortgage industry more fun, right? This opened up an avenue for me that I didn't even think was possible, right? Like, I'm a private person, didn't think I would ever jump behind a camera, and said, you know what, screw it. Your ability made me more confident to do it, because if it looked like crap, guess who wasn't? But we just weren't going to post things. We weren't doing it to post things, right? And I know when you guys had linked up in prior, you were doing all of his drone footage for his homes and put in dope music behind it. And like, all my colleagues would see this and like, he's a buddy of yours, you should utilize him. So like, that kind of got the gears going, like, well, how can we scale this thing? I guess just like your business plan. So like, how did you guys link up? And
I was just going to ask that. I don't know how you found me.
So Milady, years ago, Matt Milady, he's like, a family member at this point to me, but he said, he showed it to me, and he was like, you got to see what this fucking kid's doing. Like, and he doesn't often like say things like that.
Yeah, he doesn't get excited about.
And he was like, this kid's ridiculously talented. Like, it's unreal. And he was like, do you know him? And I was like, no. And he was like, he lives down the street from you, asshole. And I was like, show me him. And I was like, oh yeah, I've seen that kid since he was little. Like, I've seen him running around and riding bikes and doing wheelies and skateboarding and dirt bikes and shit. I've seen him all around. And I was like, I think he's a little bit older than the twins and this. And he was like, yeah. He was like, dude, he literally lives down the street from your house. And I'm like, okay. And then like, I started watching and seeing more of the stuff he was doing. And then I was like, all right, I gotta get a hold of this kid. Like, we live in a little pocket. Like, there's like 6 streets where we grew up. There's like 6 little streets right there. And I'm like, all right, this kid's young. He's a hustler. Everyone's telling me he's a good kid. Like, I have to reach out to this kid, and I got to see what he's about, and I got to make sure. It almost like I have to make sure that this kid doesn't become a statistic in our neighborhood. Like, he's got talent. He's a good person. Everyone's saying he is. I got to make sure that this kid is going to like go to the next level. Like, and I want to do anything that I can to fucking help this kid. If people are saying that about him, I have to do my part. Yeah. And I reached out to him right away. He was like receptive. Like, yep, cool. He listened. He wasn't like an arrogant little prick. He like was like, okay, that sounds good. Like this and that. Like, just his demeanor. Yeah. Right. Is just, it's welcoming. Right. So like, you want to work with him. And then we started doing real estate stuff. I like showed him like, listen, dude, this is an untapped market for you. You're doing all these wedding stuff. I found myself watching wedding stuff on YouTubes and stuff like that.
Isn't it crazy?
Right? And I'm like, this kid's
because they're
unreal.
fire. Like, he put one out that was like pulling on the heartstrings a little bit. I'm like, wait, I don't even know this couple.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Why the hell do I care?
Yeah.
But it was so like epic. The shot.
That's the goal.
That's the goal, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's when I knew like, all right, this is like a wedding video is giving me goosebumps of dudes and girls that I don't even know. Like, this guy's got skill.
And then I get excited about shit, right? And I get excited about younger people that came from where we came from that are doing good things. And like, I call you and I'm like, you got to fucking check this fucking kid out. Like, this kid's unreal. And you're like, what the fuck do I care about wedding videos? You know what I mean? And then I was like, no. He's going to be doing real estate videos. He's going to be doing promo videos for you. He says he does commercials for other people. I start pulling up stuff, and you're doing commercial type stuff for businesses and shit like that.
That, I just like how the wedding thing was an accident, so was that. I shot a wedding, and the one guy's dad owned a clothing company, Philly Muscle Tees, Philly Strong.
Yeah.
So he hit me up. He's like, yo, can you shoot a promo for the store? I'm like, absolutely. So we did like a whole citywide promo for them.
I remember seeing that. That was you. I didn't even know that was you.
So that
I know the family that ran the shop.
So that was our first TV.
They were my wedding gifts, actually, in 2015 to all my, groomsmen. Yeah, I got all of them, Philly swag T-shirts, coffee mugs from that Philly. Yeah,
it was sick. We did like this whole citywide campaign for them, and it went on TV. And I got a hit up from Comcast, from this dude Larry from Comcast. God rest his soul, he passed away from cancer, but I loved him. The dude was awesome. He called me and he's like, "Yo, are you interested in coming in for an interview, like for us to subcontract?" I was like, I'm this kid running around with GoPros. I was like, sure. Like, I'll bring my iPad and show you some weddings that I shot. He gave me the chance to subcontract for them, started giving me, so they don't shoot their own commercials. When you hit up Comcast for a commercial spot, they'll give you a subcontractor to shoot it.
Oh, I see.
So I became his subcontractor. He got me into 2 more guys with Comcast, and I started getting all these this was before COVID. Yeah. Since COVID, it all slowed down. Sure. But I still get those clients from Comcast. It's cool. It all happened by accident.
Well, how about this now? That you said COVID affected your business like so many of us. Now we see you as kind of like, obviously you can run these insane productions at these great locations. You do this awesome drone footage for real estate agents, bios, business bios, and you do tons of amazing jobs at weddings. Like, so how did you pivot from like, all right, Comcast corporate world to like, how can I independently kind of pivot post-COVID? Like, what did you do there?
I marketed once. I created my own promo at the end of COVID, and I threw that promo up on Instagram and Facebook, and I paid to boost those posts, and I haven't done it since.
Look at that.
I haven't done it since because I just can't take in.
Can't handle the workload.
Exactly. I've already expanded.
You're telling me you marketed one time and you're
one time. Because all my work is its own marketing.
Yeah.
When I give a client their video and they post it, that's marketing for me because they're like, oh, who made that? Someone's getting married that one of these wedding clients are related to or know. They reach out. So it's its own advertising. But yeah, at the very end of COVID, I marketed once.
That's awesome.
See, this is crazy. So now this is inspiring, right? For younger viewers or people that are undecided on what the hell they're doing. This all kind of accidentally happened through you throughout just taking a chance and saying yes.
And because it was something that you were passionate about and something that you were good at. And it just
the story at the wedding in Jamaica is awesome, right? Because something that small turns into something like this, and you keep saying yes, and just like this show, you could have easily told us, no, I don't know, I don't think we agreed on a fee or anything like that. We just said we're not doing the show without Danny,
and without Danny,
without
Danny being an even partner,
and exactly because we knew your passion and how it would make the show look, but we said we needed him with us 100%, and it's like turned into an awesome friendship, awesome business relationship. But really, I didn't even know, but I knew your work was so freaking good. I didn't know how good of a person you were on top of it, which is even better. But do you consider yourself a wedding photographer, a production guy? Like, what's your niche?
I'm a producer.
Yeah.
So there's no strict market and there's no strict job. I like leaving my comfort zone when it comes to jobs. For example, when we had the meeting about the podcast, I've never done a podcast before. It made me nervous, but I liked it. I was like, this is something new to me. I want to learn. So I did how many days of R&D to figure out what we needed, what kind of mics, and I mean, we learned as we went, but I feel like we got to the point now where like we're pretty good. We don't need to upgrade anything.
Well, it runs on autopilot.
I also
because of you guys.
I also sold him on the idea too. Like I can sell you. I can sell Pablo Escobar cocaine right now. So like I sold him. I'm like, listen, this is going to market your business, and it does.
But it does. I mean, that's the truth.
And it's fun.
Yeah,
it is fun,
right? It's like we meet a couple.
It's an escape from reality for me. It's like to sit down here and do this stuff. It's you put the phone on do not silent for an hour, or do not disturb for an hour, and we get to sit here and just conversate and bullshit with people, and people are learning stuff from it. So it's like, it's great. Like it's a cool escape for me.
I completely agree because like you sitting behind the camera, you're hearing all this stuff about the real estate world that I know you purchased a home before, but you're looking in the market, you're going to be a young buyer as well. Like, how does it sound behind the camera, listening to all these experts that we have in all different fields? I mean, you have to be learning a ton.
I mean, yeah, I'm listening to every word. I have a headset on, listening to the volumes of the mics, and I'm listening to every word that's being said. It's education. I'm being educated by being at every one of these episodes for sure.
And you're listening to it multiple times because then you're sitting down in your lab late at night. He likes to work at like 3, 4 a.m.
Man, imagine listening to me and you at 3 or 4 a.m.
Oh, it sounds awful.
Morning. Yeah,
sounds awful.
It doesn't sound good. We should pay more if we're.
Sounds terrible.
But yeah, like so moving forward with the business, like so someone reaches out to you, it should be for a wedding, real estate. Like what are some things that we don't know about that you offer, some of your services?
I do strictly drone stuff. I don't get hit up for that a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I do strictly drone stuff. I do.
Now, what would that be useful in some cases? Because people think it's only real estate agent, gym owners, or something like that. Like, what other people could utilize that?
So I had a contact the other day or a client reach out to me the other day asking, they work for an insurance company for like damages to like properties, and they're like, instead of our agent climbing onto this roof, can we hire you to come out with a drone, fly the drone up? They'll give you like the blueprint of where you need to shoot and then send us the footage.
Yeah.
So I'm like, absolutely, that sounds cool. I don't even have to get out of my car.
What, home inspectors must do the same thing, right?
I'm assuming it would make sense.
There's a lot of roofing. Dylan Bear, who was on a show. Yeah. His dad is a roofing estimator, and he estimates roofs a lot of times with a drone. So he's an older dude, flies a fucking drone up and looks at roofs and does it that way. So there's home inspectors that do it. Yeah. There's also insurance people for hail damage and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's smart. I mean, that's like the drone thing. And now I know we were discussing, because I work in the city, there's some goofy rules with the city down there. Like, you can't fly down there,
and
right?
when we shot that Philly Strong first commercial, I almost got arrested for it.
No shit.
So there was no FAA no-fly zone at the time. Drones were brand new. And I'm standing at the middle of, right in front of the Cathedral Basilica. There's that fountain. I'm standing there flying the drone.
All the Hallahan girls
jumping.
So I'm standing there flying the drone of my buddy riding his street bike down the parkway wearing one of these shirts. And I get surrounded by like 6 cop cars. They're like, land the drone. I'm like, okay. And as they're telling me to land the drone, the dude's like, do you have your ID? And I'm like trying to get both. He's like, land the drone. I'm like, dude, you just asked me for my ID. Do you want me to land the drone first? And they were like threatening to like break the drone and shit. And I'm telling them like, you guys are literally telling me a law that doesn't exist. My app will tell me if there's an FAA regulation right now, and there's not. It's just they had such a bad rep because people were chasing helicopters and shit with them for fun. Not doing commercial anything. Now it's an FAA no-fly zone, so you need to have like a commercial pilot's license to fly down there. It's not even worth going to school for. It's a waste of time. I'd buy stock footage instead.
Yeah. Dude, that's true. So, say like outside of the city, I guess different counties have different rules on where you can fly. Like, I guess if you have a location, a wedding couple calls you and say, "Hey, we're getting married down City Hall. We want to get drone footage." You got to say no, right? You're passing.
I'll try to. So if their package includes it, if I can't get it, if say it's in a no-fly, so the Cathedral Basilica is the edge of the no-fly zone. So I can get drone footage there and of the free library and the art museum, but past there on the parkway towards Center City further, starts the no-fly zone.
Now, what about what's that other drone stuff called? The FPV? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. So
that's the hack, right?
So they don't have GPS coordination in them. So you can fly that.
That's the one that these realtors are hiring people to do, and it goes through the window and it comes in the door and it flies through the house. They're these little drones, and they have, but correct me if I'm wrong, the video footage isn't as advanced.
GoPro. It's a GoPro on a drone. It's like it's basically an RC helicopter with a GoPro on it.
That just comes through the front door, goes upstairs, goes in the basement.
So the guy has the goggles on, right?
Oh, I see.
And then they're seeing what the camera sees.
Oh, yeah, it's like being in a video game. It's like being in a virtual reality video game.
There's actual like a sport. It's called like drone flying. Like
drone racing.
Dude, it's wild. These drones are like 100 miles an hour.
I've never done any of that, but
bananas.
One of the episodes, we got to get some drone footage for one of the episodes coming up.
He does drone footage on some of these episodes. You don't even know. In the beginning of the show,
I told you, the guy does all the stuff behind the camera that I have no idea about. I mean, he makes our job easier.
But that's not all that he does. Like
that's just a little tiny
a little bit of what you do.
I really do I guess you can kind of call it freelance because I'll touch any job. If you hire me for a job that I've never done before, I'll do the research on it to know how to do the job, and then that just branches out even more. All domino effects.
Like he walks through like my houses with like a camera. I think it's over there somewhere with a camera like on a stick, and it's like, what is it, like a gyroscope type thing? And
it's called a gimbal,
and it keeps it level. And he walks through, and the camera footage is just perfectly still, but he's walking through, and it's cool as shit.
It's kind of related to like a gyroscope. How you can like move your arm around, you can take your footsteps, and the camera just stays still. It just floats. It kind of looks like an on-ground drone shot.
You ever see the guys like the rigs like at baseball game stuff? It's like on their chest.
Oh yeah.
It's basically that, but he's just holding it.
Oh, understood.
You see him at football games on the sidelines every game.
Really? Like he can run with his camera and it'll just stay.
You ever do any? You said you got into skateboarding and things like that. Have you ever done any like X Games sporting events, anything like that just yet, or
filming?
Yeah.
No.
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 That'd be something to pretty cool. What about like we're all local guys to the Philadelphia area. What about like local businesses and stuff like that you can help? I know, look, that's one of your things. You always, see what dudes are in the neighborhood you can help, who's got some talent. You analyze it from that. But like, how can we help each other? Like, how can you help neighborhood guys, business guys, or anybody running the shop in our way?
For promoting wise, I can absolutely help. I mean, my slogan is turning visions into reality. You actually said it by accident at the beginning of the show.
I didn't even know that.
And I have clients all the time that hit me up like, hey, I have this vision. I'm like, we can do it. So if you run a business or own a business and you want to get into this new market of advertising, it's definitely video. And it's more vertical video now. And it sucks because you're losing 70% of each frame for vertical video, but that's Instagram's algorithm, TikTok. That's how people are advertising for free now. Something gets picked up by that algorithm with a trending song. You just spent a little amount of money to reach such a large audience. It's so much different than it used to be. TV is not the way everyone's going anymore.
It's funny when we, like, as lenders, we'll get pitched that a lot. Like, oh, you could promote this on Netflix's windows or comp. And I said, I don't think TV marketing, that's got to be a dinosaur at this point, I would think.
It's almost like no one advertises. I mean, in the newspaper, people do still, but not like they used to.
No,
it's probably cheap.
TV's getting to that point. TV, I don't know how much TV airing is. It's probably, because they do a really weird thing where you buy like these spots and it'll tell you what channel you're going to be on and then what times it'll be airing. So if you want to air during a Phillies game compared to like 3 a.m, the pricing's not even close to the same thing.
So for, you say freelance, I guess for you guys then, like Instagram and social sites are it, right? Like, why would you?
That's what 90% of my marketing clients do. It's all social media.
Plus, that's where all the eyes are at, and that's probably where you get a lot of, your business hit-ups, right? They DM you, they say, hey, dude, like, I love the video. Like, how can you help me, or vice versa?
Exactly. That's why I don't advertise, because it does, my work advertises for itself. I make a promo for you, you post that promo, someone's reaching out to you, yo, who made that promo for you? And I ask my clients to tag me.
Tag you on it.
Yeah, and so it kind of gives me the lead to that next client if they reach out.
They don't even have to ask. They just look.
So as we're on the show, the real estate show, like, we know you do the open houses. Do you like doing that? Does it make money for the business? Like, obviously I feel like you're meeting a new client every time you did a shoot. So like, that's one of your specialties, obviously, is the real estate part of it.
100%.
And weddings we've already touched on. What's one of the more unique things that you've filmed that we don't know about or haven't seen yet? Is there anything like requests that you've gotten like that's far out?
A unique one I did actually wasn't even a client that requested it. This was my first international job. So I went to the Bahamas on vacation a few years ago with a group of friends. I think I paid like $1,500 for the trip. And while we were in the Bahamas, we all rented ATVs from an ATV rental company right off of the dock of like where the cruise ships dock up. And I wore a GoPro the whole time. We rode around for like 3 hours. I made a promo and put their logo on it, but I watermarked it with my logo. I emailed it because I had their business card. I emailed it to them. It was like, hey, I'll take my logo off. You can use this for advertising. You'll own all the rights. $1,500 and it's yours. They gave me $1,500. They paid for my whole trip. It took me 3 hours.
Wow.
See, it's smart, man. That
brilliant. Was my first like very, very like original, like different job. But I've done international deals. I've done wine company stuff in Italy.
Wow.
Not even going there. They'll send me stuff over here. I'll do editing work for them.
He's teaching me about like social media stuff and all, and like I've never even been on TikTok, right? And I think we started a TikTok for the show. I think you open one up and you're going to start doing it there. But he used an example for me. He said, because I said, is TikTok really worth us even doing? And he was like, yes. And he said, remember that video that I posted on my personal Instagram where I did a backflip off of a waterfall? And I said, oh, yeah. There was a couple of your boys standing there. He said, yeah. He had like a camera with him. And he's like, yeah, that got so many views on my personal thing. He's like, I put that on TikTok and I put a trending video on with a song. He put like a Drake song on. He's like, dude, I got like 100,000 views in an hour.
It was an Instagram reel. Same thing. It's the same algorithm. I used the trending song. I guess it's just like when you're scrolling down your For You page, you're using a trending song, shit's popping up. And how the algorithm works is if it puts that post on 10 people's pages and all 10 of them like it, and then I'll put it on 30 people's pages. And then if 15 people like it, it'll put it on 50 and it'll keep going. I'm still getting traction on that post. It was a pointless post of me doing a backflip off of like a little cliff.
I gotta see
it. It's bananas.
Where do you see the business going? Like what's kind of as you scale, and I know you kind of just go with the flow, but you have to have a vision, as your motto would say. Like, where do you see you in 5 years with the business?
I want to 100% expand. I've already been forced to expand because of COVID, but I don't want to lose quality. So I don't want to go quantity over quality. I want to stay quality, train my guys properly, train the right guys. Right now, I have 4 editors, 3 videographers. Awesome. They're all great. They're all trained right. They all know what they're doing. I trust them all to be at their own locations without me. But I definitely don't want to get to the point where we're shooting, say, 5 weddings on a Saturday, and I get a phone call, yo, one of our SD cards corrupted. What do I tell the clients? Oh, we missed your first kiss because I took on 4 extra weddings today and I couldn't be there at yours. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
It's just a lot of risk, and I don't want to lose that quality. That's a phone call I sure shit would never want to take. Me too.
Now, weddings you could never reshoot, so I see the point in where you can't really expand too much on that without giving up quality. But like business promo shoots and stuff like that, your card gets corrupted. You could easily call the person back, like, listen.
That's directed.
Like, listen. Something happened digitally. I'm going to give you a little bit of a discount. We need to reshoot. They're probably going to be like, yeah, okay, cool. They're business owners. Okay, no
That's
problem.
The expansion. When we get to that point, 100%. That wouldn't be losing quality because we're not working off of like...
something that can only happen once.
Exactly. Everything's directed and scripted for the commercial stuff. A wedding's not. So it's definitely more risk, but that's where we could expand to the point where we could be doing 15 commercials a week, all different crews at each one. Like, 100%.
Have you had any malfunctions and digital problems with a wedding, and like how hard is that to like communicate with people on that?
I've had, I wish there was something wood here I could knock on wood. I have never had an SD card corrupt or anything like that, but I've had like shots missed. I've had videographers that work for me miss the first kiss, so they know though to put them back up on the altar and kiss, and I'll edit that in.
Oh, okay, smart.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, so I'm not.
So you can catch stuff on the fly and kind of correct it
as long as they know to correct it while they're there.
Yeah.
Because if not, I don't even know.
She can't make her do her makeup and everything the same way again and all that.
Well, so then let me ask you. Like
I crashed drones on shoots.
Did you?
I've cut myself open with drones on shoots. Yeah, I was at a dentist shoot one time.
Just as long as you didn't crash it into the bride.
Dude, I have like a $4 million insurance policy because I have to, like, because of drone footage. It goes from like you need $1 million policy for this venue if you're not flying a drone. If you are flying a drone, it's like $4 million.
Oh, so it's the places that require.
They require it. I mean, it's cheap.
Yeah.
You pay yearly. It's cheap because they don't expect you to kill anyone with your drone. Sure. But I tried to land my drone in my hand at a dentist marketing shoot, and I cut myself open. And
trying to be fancy.
I wrapped it up in my sweatshirt and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here."
I'm learning that about you. Anytime you get hurt, he won't go to the doctor. But no, what about finding good help? Because like in our world, it's hard as shit to find good help, right? Because it's humans doing a task. It's one of our hardest jobs, like to find someone that you could delegate a task to, that you can pay the right amount of money to. Like, it's easily the hardest part of our job. In your world, I feel like it would be easier to find help. No? Just because it's more, it's, I don't know. You tell me.
I would imagine that it would be, if someone's super talented, they're just going to do it on their own.
They're going to want to do it.
And then if you train them up so well, then there's a time frame where you have them, and then they're going to want to do it on their own.
100%. The help isn't so everybody I've hired so far has came to me. I have not gone out and looking for anybody. Everyone's came to me. I see their work. I see the potential they have, and we go from there. And it's been great. My team has been great.
The COVID times is probably best for that because guys are losing jobs, or your age people are like, I don't really want to do this degree anymore, and then they're coming to you like, hey, do you have a position for me?
And it's not full-time stuff. It's part-time. Like my guys right now, I'll give them a hard drive with what to edit. I'll give them how we want to edit it, what songs need to be used, and then they'll have a certain time frame to send it back to me. I'll revise it. I'll do everything that needs to be changed, and then we'll deliver it. And that's not with every single client. That's just things that can be subbed out to my guys.
So what do people need to know? Like I couldn't call you and say, hey, dude, I want a job on your team. Like, who are you looking for? Because, again, like in the show, we're always trying to see if people can help one another out. Like, when do they come to you? Like, what kind of talent do they need? Background do they need?
You probably could, because he's teaching me how to do stuff.
I was going to say, he's teaching you how to be a social media guy, which you try to teach me, and I am not learning right now. Like, I'm done. We're closed for learning for a little bit on the social media stuff. All right, so as you scale your business, what kind of help talent are you looking for? Like who's the go-to client that you're looking to pick up or employee?
Employee-wise, I'm looking for editors right now. I shot so many weddings last year. We shot so many weddings last year. We did almost 50. So I'm still catching up from editing jobs from last year, which, I mean, it sucks because my turnaround time is long, but again, we're not losing quality. I could easily subcontract overseas to like people off Fiverr. They'll have me back wedding videos in a day, but you ain't gonna have a wedding video that matches our standard of work, our standard of like.
So you can send it, they'll chop it up, and you get it back, and it's a shell of what you want.
And
you get what you pay for.
I agree. Yeah. I could shoot 100 weddings a year, and do that, and I would probably in the next year I'd probably have 0 clients, because our work would not stand out. I want my work to stand out.
So there is some guys in your field that do things like that cut the corners, or may just not have the means, and they go that direction.
Absolutely.
Now, you film an episode today. What's today's date? I don't even know what today's date is, right?
April 25th, I think.
All right.
Draft day. Yeah, it's draft day.
April 25th.
Eagles draft day.
So you film April 28th, you film a wedding. How long until, what's your turnaround time until the people get it back? What do you tell them?
Right now, I don't even have one. Oh, okay. It should be 14 to 16 weeks. I try to stay at that. Right now, I don't even have one. Okay. Now that I have 4 editors, which is new, we're going to catch up quick. So my goal is 14 weeks.
Which again, I don't think would be a big deal, because you go on honeymoon, you're settling in a house, you may be having a kid like that. I mean,
yeah, so like Malade got married in what, November? Was his wedding in November?
I forget.
So he'll get his in a couple more months.
He's actually
it was November.
I think he's like 2 away.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I think he's like 2 away.
There you go.
And he's probably sitting home waiting. He probably can't wait to see it.
But again,
yeah, he'll never watch it. He'll never watch it.
No, but Katie will.
Katie will watch it. He'll never watch it.
We were at that wedding. It was awesome,
was
and I know.
Phenomenal.
How about this for a selfish one? And again, I like to always throw these out there to see if anybody's listening. At a wedding, and I know you're a professional. You're a single guy though. Love is in the air. You're the guy with the camera, right? So you get hit on at weddings a lot?
I have so many stories.
Yes, I knew it. I knew it.
And you know what's funny? When I was in a relationship, it didn't happen as often. But I don't say anything.
Yeah.
Now that I'm single, it's way different. It's like almost like my body language maybe gives it away. I have no idea.
Dude, I'm sitting there, and it was at my lady's wedding. We were at the Crystal Tea Room, and it like had that bartender vibe to me. Like back in the day, it's like, damn, man, there's no reason why this girl should be chatting with me. Like really feeling me. It's just like you're bartending, you're back there, you're mixing it up, your body language. I don't give a shit, whatever. And I had that feeling. I'm like, this guy probably gets hit on 50 times a night. Like
that. First off, that might have been.
I keep it professional.
That might have been the best wedding I've been to in a long time.
Oh, I know you keep it professional, but hey, people are gonna act how people are gonna act. And it's like they see a young guy flying around, tux on, hitting the wedding. I mean, running a great production, like. Girls will be feeling.
I don't step on toes either. Once my contract's over, I mean, I'll respond.
That's great.
That wedding, right? That was great, and what I appreciated was my daughters were in the wedding, and Danny was filming them. Now my daughters are super photogenic, but he was like, and they know him.
Yeah.
So like they were hamming it up for him, and he's doing stuff, and he's on the dance floor, filming them, and in the church and all this stuff. And I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like watching him interact with people, but I know that he does that with other people's kids that he
does
know.
it to everybody that comes on the show. Like that's been the common theme with this, right? Like we all get behind the camera and the microphone and say, shit, I've never done this before. I'm going to be super uncomfortable. And that's a big part of the show. Like this is a real deal production setup. Sure. For us two schmoes, I don't know why, but again, that's what we wanted because we have a vision for the show ourselves. And if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right and go down swinging, right? So, but you make everybody comfortable because the setting is right, the quality of light's right, the audio is always right. So, like, these are things that, one, if we didn't have you, the show doesn't go anywhere because we don't know what the hell we're doing, right? And then everybody else is uncomfortable because we'd be uncomfortable. So,
it'd be like a Zoom bullshit thing. Like, nobody wants to listen to that.
So it starts from you. And look, I hope this takes off, and I hope your business keeps growing and growing but I hope you leave a little bit of time left for us, right? Because, we use you in the real estate world as well outside of this. So as your business blows up, like, where is the best place for people to get a hold of you? You said you don't market. You said you don't put job postings out there. Is it all social?
So messaging me on Instagram at my company page, which is Danny Bennett Productions. I'll respond to them. My personal ones don't come into my inbox. They're like muted. They go into like a request folder. My email, I answer my emails once a day if I'm not on top of my laptop all day. And texting is probably the number one way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always say because
texting's got the quickest response.
You guys will do emails, and I'm like, yeah, Danny ain't no email.
And you know what?
Like I call Danny, and I know to call Danny at like noonish, right? Because I know he's working in the lab.
He's
nighttime,
editing 2,
all
3
night
in the
long.
morning. It's crazy.
I call him around noonish, he answers, and CJ will be like, "Oh, I emailed him," and I'm like, "He ain't no email, dude." Man.
But it's refreshing because even in our world now, like we're all email fatigued, right? Email is just kind of almost becoming a freaking dinosaur. It's like if you want to get a hold of me, text me or call me. Obviously, the wedding thing, I feel like that's amazing to me that you don't even advertise for the wedding. It's just your work gets you more and more clients, almost like how our job gets us more and more clients, the better you do. But like, that's a big ass decision, not kind of advertising or marketing for that. I'd assume springtime now you're nonstop with wedding.
So wedding season started this year in March.
Is that right?
That's different. Usually I don't shoot during the winter. Weddings don't come in during the winter, but this year I
Is there any particular reason for that? Cheaper? Or
people are steering away from summer weddings.
Yeah.
So March I had 5, June I have none.
Are you doing more like Friday weddings too now?
Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays now.
During
COVID, we were doing Thursdays.
And everything they do. That's good. It's smart.
Yeah, because you used to only be Saturdays.
It's the racket when
Yeah,
everybody's paying full price. But I think post-COVID, everyone's starting to learn.
COVID changed weddings.
100%.
100%.
I can totally imagine. I know when my wife and I got married, we thought like that back in the day. Like we got married on a holiday weekend, November, like 28th it was. And it was discounted. It was still Saturday, but it was discounted because it was a holiday weekend. For us, it was in the city, so it was great. We got everybody from Philly and Jersey to meet up. And we always thought about that. But now it's great to hear these younger people catching up to say, like, hey, where can I have a cheaper wedding but have a better quality video or production staff or something like that? That's great.
I imagine that destination weddings can be really cool for you to go on for people. And that way you're doing, because you're there. They're probably paying for you to be there, right? So they're paying for you to be there, but they're not paying for some huge wedding. So they're saving money by doing a destination wedding. You're there, so you're probably filming their excursions.
This happened.
I was going to say, you had to.
That's got to be
awesome.
That's got to be a badass video because you're taking it from not just the wedding day. You're taking it from them partying in the pool, going on ATV excursions, parasailing, which, listen, I've jumped out of planes fucking 100 times. I'll never parasail. It's the most fucking dangerous thing. I'll never do it because they're under-trained human beings. I would never fucking do that. But so, like, if you do all that stuff, that would be a badass video.
So I had a client who was also like a family friend. They proposed, like the fiance proposed in St. John, and I shot for 2 hours for the proposal, if that, but we made a video of like the 5-day trip.
Oh, I seen that this was E's daughter. Elmer's daughter. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Sick.
Dude,
That was a good time.
the destination wedding, that's awesome to think about. You could just make that a niche kind of thing. Like, hey, I'm your like getaway guy. That's so cool.
When I travel on my own, I try to sell. For example, I went to the Bahamas, made a Bahamas video. I tried to sell the promo we made at that resort to the resort. So like I'll throw their logo on it with my watermark. I'll be like, listen, you can have this. You'll own all the rights. You do whatever you want with it. This is the price. And the
brilliant.
Bahamas resort didn't work. They never even got back to me. I don't even know if I got through to them. But like every time I go away, I try to do that.
But you never know that. I mean, imagine doing that on one of your travels, linking up with a major hotel conglomerate, and then boom, that can spot. Keep doing that because that's a brilliant idea.
I would imagine that most videography that's provided to you from a destination wedding probably doesn't compare to what you do. It's mainly
cookie
trash
cutter.
videos.
Most wedding videographers are cookie cutter template shooters. They put a camera on a tripod. They get that one shot, and then if you go watch 30 other videos of theirs, they're all the same thing.
Yours are never the same.
No, I try to switch up I bring my creative side into my wedding stuff.
So tell us what separates yourself from, like, on a wedding, for example. Like, don't give up all your special sauce, right? But what are some unique
Go to his YouTube channel and watch.
Yeah, I mean, is there something different like that you're doing or something that just has worked for you?
So I like movement.
Yeah?
I like to get as much movement as I possibly can on camera. Because
so that's that gimbal thing you use.
So if the clients aren't moving, if the bride and groom aren't moving, I'm moving. So I'll be wrapping around them like you've seen me at my lady's wedding. I'll do a circle on the dance floor 6 times. That way, when I'm in post and I'm editing, I have for a dip kiss. It's not just them dipping; it's them dipping, but the crowd behind them looks like it's moving.
Did you get like the Fanatic and everything at the wedding?
Yeah,
that was
so
awesome.
I love movement. I shoot at high frame rates when there is movement, so I could slow stuff down, and I just love the cinema side of it.
So you're engaged then. Well, I mean, that tells you that you're actually paying attention to what the hell's going on.
He definitely paid attention because I watched him. Like my daughters went over to Malade and he had both of them. He picked both of them up and he's dancing. I was like fucking crying. And I look over and Danny's like right there. I'm like, how the fuck did he even know that this shit was happening? This wedding's huge. How the fuck did he just like parachuted out of nowhere and he's like fucking right there. And I'm like, holy shit.
And there's some weddings I'll go to where we're all dancing around and we got to grab a guy and say like, get a photo of us. Like it seems like you're in the mix already. I know because I saw that wedding, and I wish I hadn't seen all those late wedding videos. I'm like, oh crap! I should have went home at that point.
I did. I went home. I had the kids, so I had to go.
Oh
home.
yeah, I'm like looking at when the Fanatic was out there, and like shit, that was the cue to get the hell out of here. Yeah, right. But I see these weddings, and I know I've noticed with your productions compared to others at weddings, the energy level is jacked up, right? I don't know what that is. Maybe it's because you're in the crowd and the crowd feels that movement. I think that's what it is. But I've always noticed that your weddings are more hype. You were at C-Mac's wedding too, which was insane. But you were like in the middle of the mosh pit with the video stuff. It's insane.
I need to be because I know when I'm going into the editing, and so my wedding videos kind of have like a cinematic slow version, like the first part slow and cinematic for like the ceremony and the getting ready. And then it gets to the reception part, and that's where we have an upbeat song, and we need the energy to be high.
Yeah, your energy changes in your videos.
100%.
Even the pace of the video, I feel like changes. Like
I try to keep that with the real estate videos. I try to keep that energy high. We have those tricks for the movement shots and the real estate stuff where we have like
the transition stuff that he should like. He's super passionate about what he does. Like just today, he was showing me. He's like, you got to check this out. Like this video this kid does, and he does this transition, and it's like a cake. And this video comes in, and it's a cake, and then it's a mountain. Like,
I don't understand.
Danny's like, how the fuck did this dude do this? Like he was like, and we were talking about there's levels to shit. Like we were talking about something else. I'm like, there's levels to this shit. And he was like, you want to talk about levels? Look at this. And he was like, I don't even understand.
So there's some guys on at different games. Actually, that leads me to a good question because my next one was like, what's next? What frontier have you not conquered yet that you're like, damn, I got to get into? I want to learn how to do this. Is there any like...
So yeah, I have like people that I look up to on social. Like there's this guy on TikTok that makes wedding videos that I would love to get on his level, but he's like a crew of 5. And it's almost like you're watching like a VH1 reality show. It's amazing.
It's that good?
But it's got to be like, their price has got to be like $25,000 a wedding. So...
minimum, probably.
Yeah, they're insane.
What's his name? I want to follow him. Put it on there. I'll reach out to you. You got a young follower.
Forget his name. But
you'll post it.
Yeah, post it on there when you follow because, like, I want to know. All right, he's got a crew of 5. Well, you could easily get a crew of 5. What's holding you back? I mean, there's so many people. Just skilled wise or business wise? Like, what makes them?
I would just give an example for like a wedding team, but I want to get to the point where I'm doing commercials for example, Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. Like that, those type of things, I could do 3 of those a year and be good.
He may need his big friend Nick to inject some capital into his
Dude,
business.
their budgets are like 3. Yeah, I told you I was interested.
Listen, I mean, and that's the whole point. We want to scale businesses to the next level. My business, his business. We're here having fun. We're bringing guests on to learn about their business. But ultimately, everybody wants to help each other succeed, push each other up. I just learned about, like, I think this is like Hollywood production kind of stuff, right? So, and really, I watch a couple podcasts and reels on Instagram that don't stack up to your stuff. And I'm always like, well, what gives him the better edge? Why is he so much better? So there's like goats in your industry.
For sure.
That are just like.
Yeah, I know I'm not the best, but I try to get better.
And you do like the guys on the destinations and travel, you always take your equipment with you on that as well? Because you're an outdoor, like, ATV.
Yeah, I'm going to Turks and Caicos on Monday, and I'm bringing a drone, 4 GoPros, a DSLR.
Turks and Caicos on Monday.
Can we shoot that at
Turks and Caicos. Yeah.
By the time this episode comes out, the video of that will probably be already on my Instagram.
Amazing, dude. So what is next for Danny Bennett Productions? Like, are you happy where it's at right now? Just trying to scale in the right way where quality matters, and then it takes care of itself?
I have no complaints where I'm at right now. I'm very comfortable. I'm not stressing on my schedule every day. I have no issues with it. I enjoy life. and I would like to continue this at a higher scale. So yeah, expanding is always good.
How old are you right now?
29.
There's not many 29-year-olds that are saying that statement. They're happy where they're at right now, and they're comfortable with what they want to grow. Like,
I'm embarrassed at how stupid I sounded at 29.
Most 29-year-olds are like, I want to be here, I want to be here, I want to be here, and they're not happy with where they're at. He's enjoying the journey.
Well, you know
like,
why?
he's legitimately enjoying the fucking journey.
There's no doubt about it. And you know what? And he goes by one of your rules without even saying it. He's not chasing dollars, right? He's not chasing the money part of it. The money's going to come by the work he puts in. Right?
He's focused on being better.
You do that, and that's a testament to you, because at 29, that my response would have been 100% different. I'm cutting off the knees of anybody I need to get ahead. I'm fucking need cash. And it's refreshing to hear that, because I think your way is the right way, right? Because we were stressed out back then.
I can't wait to see the video that he does at your new hotel,
which will be coming up in May. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have great guests on there. One of our partners, Wendell Holland's going to be on the show. He is a social media icon, and he's got great new things, but one of our partners as well. He's a real estate investor. And another guy, Scott Yesner, who runs our bespoke Airbnb company. You're going to come down. We're going to see the hotel and learn a ton from these guys.
That sounds fun.
You know, we do the same thing with the podcast as we did the hotel.
Maybe we should a wedding there.
Listen, that's what's going to tie into it, because it's a 5-unit boutique hotel in Old City, right outside for Elford's Alley. It's a wedding shooter's dream, I would imagine. It's right under the bridge. But yeah, these guys are going to, and we did that the same way we do this podcast. We bring on people that are just smarter than us, and that's the way I operate in every facet of life. And the gratifying part is you just learn a shit ton, right? Like, you learn so much. So I'll leave here happy as hell that I learn more about the production side of things that I've ever known in my life. So yeah, dude, this business is killer. I'm so happy to see where he goes. 29 years old. Can you imagine being this detail and business oriented at 20? I mean, you were pretty good.
Yeah, but he's on another level. Like, his skill level is crazy, and that's probably hard. How do you teach your skill level? And how do you teach your skills and your passion to newer employees? Like, are you looking for someone who's like super passionate about it? Like, if they're coming to you, they're probably passionate about.
Everyone that's came to me already has portfolios of them doing what they do, and it's never the stuff that I do. It's their own stuff, music videos, stuff like that. So they have that passion too. I have them shadow me. Look at my work. Look how I do speed ramping, and look how I do certain transitioning with lens flares, and they'll learn it.
I don't even understand what you're saying right now.
Me neither, and I love it, because and I was going to ask that question, like, have you ever done any like music videos or things like that? Because that's got to be another piece, or you have guys on your team that do it.
I've gotten hit up for music videos so many times, and once I hear the songs, I don't even want to associate my company with them.
That's great.
But if I have a good artist that hits me up, absolutely, I'm all in. I just don't want to associate. I never want to downgrade our quality, and it's the same point I gave earlier. I don't want to put our production company's name on a music video. So
somebody comes to you with a big check, the rap song sounds like shit, you're not feeling it, it doesn't work
controversial
for you.
topics,
yeah, it doesn't work for your brand.
Street thug shit, like, you don't want to be
no, but that's great. I mean, look, you stand by your business, and young 29 starting your own business. How long's the business been
2017 I started the LLC.
Oh, so the business isn't even young. I mean, we're 7 years in here. So, but imagine that. Like, I would
he was in his grandmom's house, like in a back room, like had all the stuff. He was editing all that, on the computers, doing all that stuff. And then, now he's got his own place, and he set up a room that he's doing all that stuff in. And the next thing you know, he's going to be in a like a brick and mortar probably.
I think there's no doubt about it. I think you have more talent than any person I met in this space. Dude, I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to see where the show goes, friendship goes, all that stuff. So, as we do in every show, again, tell people where they can reach out to you the best. What's your Instagram handle, your website? Just get it all out there.
It's all simple. DannyBennettProductions.com. My email is DannyBennettProductions@gmail.com. My phone number is 610-331-5010. And texting me is your quickest response.
And
always.
If people are looking for what? Weddings, what else?
Marketing, commercials, weddings, something I haven't done, podcast setups, anything.
Now,
I'm open to anything.
No other podcast.
Here's one final question for you. What separates you and your videos from the other real estate videos? Because we have a lot of realtors and people in the real estate industry. What do you provide that's sets you apart from the rest of the crowd and your videos for the features of homes or for realtors features and commercials for the realtors, promotional stuff. What separates you?
So again, I try to bring my creativity into it as best as I can. So you get these template style videos. You see them on TikTok all the time of a guy walking through with an iPhone with his wide angle lens on. I like to bring the cinematography into the home. So that's where I get into the transitioning. For example, one of the houses we did for you where we kind of built the stairs.
Yeah, that was
from
wild.
The before and after.
That was wild.
You don't see that in people doing real estate videos. I like the before and afters. There's so much more we can work with.
Or you have my kids involved.
Exactly. I like to get more creative. And so you brought the creativity into with bringing your kids into it. I don't like to just take a wide angle shot of a house. I want to go inside and detail every detail that I can. I want to bring the creativity into the home.
And those videos that he does for some of my homes, I get so much feedback from that.
Yeah,
It's
and the
crazy.
collaboration part's great that he listens to you too, that your kids are comfortable enough to go on there because he's so talented at what he does. That it shows on those videos. And
My girls don't like men. My daughters do not like men at all. Like, they're very standoffish. And from the day they met Danny, instantaneously they were like right at him. And I was like, and I use my daughters a lot of times as judgment of men, right? And I was like, all right, this dude's
He's a good dude, yeah.
And even Jen said, my wife was like, they fucking
really
love this kid.
I mean, he's easy as hell to do business with. The show has seen, like, it's, for me, the build up, I'm like, damn, I don't know if I feel like doing this week. The second I get here and second I start rolling, it's great, right? The one question I have for you, the last one, is actually the uncomfortable piece when people say, like, well, damn, I don't have the money for it. I can't afford it. Like, you do all budgets, all scales. You try to work with, like, a certain client. Like, where's your clientele?
I don't have many clients that I turn down.
Yeah.
If they tell me they have a budget, we make something work. We do custom packages. And I also don't have many clients that reach out and then don't book with me.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you would call that, but when someone reaches out as like a new client, we want a price. I don't have many that don't book.
And that's a good thing because, look, we work with a lot of real estate agents that say, oh, I have my own in-house marketing team. Your in-house marketing team isn't doing everything. We know as lenders and real estate agents, very few marketing teams are doing the insane amount of work that you guys do and the quality that you do. So I always say to them, spend $500. You have your business profile and all your portfolio stuff done right here. Spend it. Like, your in-house people aren't going to do the same thing.
The other thing that Danny can do too is that I try to tell agents is, if you hire Danny to do a feature of a home, while you have him there, right, he can get footage of you walking through a home. Now, you can do just the home and release that on MLS and release that out there for just the home. But he can also get footage of you promoting your real estate as a realtor and then chop it up in different ways. So you can film in one day, have a couple different outfits, walk through a couple different homes or one home. He can make it look like different homes. And then now you have multiple things. You filmed on one day. You hire Danny, whatever price you agree with if you're doing multiple things there. And then you have months of content to put on social media.
Yeah, which we're finding out about the podcast, right?
A lot of people don't like being on camera or talking on camera, but I make it so comfortable. I don't like doing it. So when we throw that mic on you, we mess up a few times, we laugh it off, we do it again. It's not a live feed of everyone seeing this. It's shit that I'm going to deliver you as bloopers.
Everybody that comes here, every person that we've had on here, they're like, oh, what do we talk about, this and that? And I'm like, listen, it's fine. Like, we're just like, there is no script. And then you talk to people and you're like, hey, this is what it's going to have. And then every single person is like, that was really easy to do. Like, that was really comfortable. And it just
that's
goes
the
to
big
from him.
assessment to him, right? It's like, this is something we never thought I was going to do, you were going to do. And it's really one of the most fun parts of our weeks when we kind of sit down, collaborate, talk about the new things that are going on. I mean, when you put together the shopping list of all this equipment, that may as well have been in Mandarin freaking Chinese. But dude, I'm just so excited. One, from a friendship standpoint, one, that we've really got to know each other and link up. I think your business is going to explode to the next level. And I think anybody that we know in our sphere that has a business of their own that doesn't utilize your services, crazy, right?
So, yeah. And thanks for doing this, Dan. Thanks for coming on as a guest. Thanks for doing everything.
Yeah, this was a fun episode
behind the
because this
scenes.
is just like us just kicking it.
And
That's
there's
it.
no one behind the cameras right now.
Yeah,
And I can already tell because the sun's hitting this pillow and the side of your face. I'm going to have to.
I
mess
knew
with
he
that.
was bugging out about the
Yeah,
editing.
the overexposure.
Editors, reach out. We need some help.
So I appreciate everything you do for us, but what I'm most excited about with you is I'm excited to see what you do and how your business grows and how you grow as a man. And it's really cool to watch.
Yeah,
We're all going to grow together.
Yeah.
Love it, man. That's perfect. Perfect. Well, again, the guy behind the camera, Danny Bennett from Danny Bennett Productions. He is the mastermind behind the show of the Atomic Real Estate. Ryan Dolan for Nick Cessna. We will catch you guys next time.
If you enjoyed our episode, please consider supporting the show by rating and reviewing the podcast. Also, check us out on Instagram at Atomic Real Estate Show to find out when new shows drop and to participate in our community Q&As. The Atomic Real Estate Show was brought to you by Direct Subs. Direct Subs is the #1 place for real estate investors to connect with local contractors for their flips, rentals, renovations, and new construction projects.